Hello everybody, how you doing? Welcome back, and we are in Train Simulator Classic, and we're at Milton Keynes because, of course, with TSW, you're all now aware with TSW 5, we are going to get, if you get the Deluxe Edition, the Pendolino, which is the Class 390, aka the Class 390, running between Milton Keynes and London Euston as part of the West Coast Main Line, which is also coming. This section of the West Coast Main Line is coming as part of TSW 5, so I know there's been a lot of excitement since yesterday, so I thought, for those of you not familiar with the West Coast Main Line, this section of it in particular, and maybe you don't even know about the Pendolino, shall we take a drive down to Euston as best we can in Train Simulator Classic? Then at least you'll get to have a look what the actual route looks like from the TS Classic point of view. I can tell you it's going to look a lot sharper in TSW 5 because I have played it in TSW 5, but we're not going to have access to that for a few weeks. So I think without further ado, I will get the cab all set up, ready to go, and we'll be on our way and we can chat as we go down. So if I take it off pause and jump into the cab, we'll get everything set up ready to go, shall we? So first thing we need to do is put on the master key. Just acknowledge that. I'll leave it in neutral just for now whilst we get everything set up. Acknowledge all the alarms. So we just look here for the lights. We'll put them on day running because it's midday. Instrument lights are on. I think everything else is ready to go. We've got the DRA on, so we won't change that until we're ready to move off. We'll have a quick look at the outside. So this is the 390 as depicted in Train Sim Classic. If you've watched it in my other videos, you know this is one of my favourite trains in TS Classic. I'm really hyped that it's coming to TSW. I really am, because I travel on this down to London, down the West Coast Main Line so much that it's really good fun to drive it. It honestly is, and I know you guys are going to enjoy it as well. So we got a green, so we can take the DRA off. I'm going to put it into forwards, and away we go. 58 miles down to Euston platform 3. We are in quick drive, and I think on this West Coast Main Line South route in quick drive we do see some traffic, so hopefully we may also see the 350, which is one of the other units that comes with this DLC. So let's get up to speed. We can actually do 125 miles per hour. So it is quite a fast run. So you can just see down there in the hood, and it's 12:02 at the moment, and we're due in at 12:50. But that might pick up as we start to pick up speed. Let's have a look outside. It's a little bit noisier on the outside than it is in the cab. This is the Major Wales version of the stock Class 390 that comes with TS Classic. It's also got the Armstrong Powerhouse sound pack on it. And what I should do as well is put the driver vigilance device on as well, which is fine until we go out of the cab and have a look round. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna turn that off. Helps if I don't take a screenshot while I'm doing it. I've disabled it because if I do want to go outside, I don't want to get an emergency brake. Be nice to show you all around. So this is the cab, very modern looking cab, isn't it? Which is one of the things I quite like about it. If you've been playing TSW for a while, then obviously the Javelin, the 395, is very similar, I think, inside to this. And of course the Azuma is quite a modern unit, isn't it, as well, which we got last year with the East Coast Main Line. but it's a fast run. It's a good run, this. Now, I know it only represents a portion of the West Coast Main Line between London and Milton Keynes in TSW. The TS Classic version of West Coast Main Line South goes from Euston all the way up to Birmingham New Street, so it's a little bit longer. That's a good run. But having played the TSW5 version last week when I was down at Dovetail, I was a little bit like that. I was like, I don't know about the length of the route. Actually, you know what? It's a really good run. It's a very good run. And this is express. This is going straight to Euston. The TSW5 version, of course, has got a lot going for it as well. So you will have the 1972 stock on the Bakerloo line. If you own the Suffragette line as well, you'll get the 710. There's a 350 just in the platform. If you're on the Suffragette line, you'll get the 710 as well, which runs the Lioness line up to Watford. And there are also some services with the 377 as well, which we've all driven the 377 before. So just looking at the videos that we did yesterday after the Dovetail Direct, so I did a wrap-up video, which I will put a link to right now up in the top corner in case you didn't see that. So in there we went through all the TSW5 announcements, and we recapped everything, including pricing, etc., what you get, what you don't get, and the fact that the actual starter edition is free as well, which I thought was a really good move. We went through that in the video, which I released straight after the Dovetail Direct. Go and have a watch of that if you've not seen it already. But we did that video, and then I was live last night as well, just talking about what everyone's thoughts were. And to be honest, from the comments that you guys were giving me last night while we were chatting, it seems to me like the feeling is overwhelmingly positive, which was really nice to it was really nice to see. It really was. I think the fact that the starter edition is going to be free, so if you just want to upgrade what you've got and you don't want to buy anything else, if you're on TSW4 now, for example, you're quite happy as you are with all the routes and locos and content that you've got, it's great that you're going to be able to move to TSW5 and get the core update for TSW5 absolutely free for the first 30 days. But the 30 days is a point you need to remember. So if you're not going to buy any of the new content that is coming with a TSW5, then you must get the upgrade in the 30 days, within the 30 days. If you don't, the only way you can then get TSW5 after October the 17th is going to be buying one of the editions, so standard or deluxe or special edition. So if you're really not planning to get any more content for it, then do make sure you pick up TSW5 before then, before October the 17th. That's all I'll just warn you about, because I know some people will miss that, because it can get quite confusing, can't it, when you come out of a Dovetail Direct. There's so much information. But if you look at my recap video, I explain that as well, and we go through the slides, etc. So check that out, just refer back to that. Right, 110 we are permitted at the moment, but we've got 125 as we approach Leighton Buzzard. So we'll get up to speed. I'll put the speed set on because the 390 has got a speed set, so it'll hold you at the speed for a long run, the speed that you need. So let's put it in notch 4. The speed, I'll show you the speed set button because you'll use this in TSW. The speed set button is there, so when you get to the speed that you require, if you click that, it will hold you at that speed. You do of course need some throttle to be engaged. If you're coasting, it won't hold the speed, of course. but I can also do it in TS Classic. I can do it on the keyboard. So once we get to 125, I will engage the speed set, and we'll keep cruising down. 47 miles to Euston. You can hear the sounds. That AP sound pack is great for the Pendolino. And playing the TSW5 version of the Pendolino, the sound was exactly like that, to my mind. So you don't have to buy anything additional, which is great. The AP stuff for TS Classic is obviously a little bit more expense on top of what you've already bought. So yeah, everything's there in the TSW package. So. Right, speed set is on, cruising along, 124, 125, approaching Cheddington. Let's take a look outside, shall we? This is Cheddington coming up right now. So yes, you will get up to speeds of 125 miles per hour on this section of the West Coast Main Line, which is really nice to see. I quite like the fast services, as you know. I like a good run. I like a fast run. I was saying in the stream last night, I quite enjoy the ICE runs in Germany, especially the ICE one with the LZB, etc. Some decent stuff we've got for speed in TSW, and I'm kind of secretly hoping, I don't know anything by the way, but I'm kind of secretly hoping, you know, now that the West Coast Main Line is in and the Pendolino is in, we get some other places to use the Pendolino. So another section of the West Coast Main Line. I know that Just Trains are bringing out the Preston to Carlisle section, which obviously I'm really hyped about as well. That is the West Coast Main Line over Shap if you're a TS Classic player, but that is a different era. That's going to be set in the 80s where the Pendolino didn't exist. Now you're going to be able to stick the Pendolino on there, because in TS Classic the West Coast Main Line over Shap is an 80s era route, but we all run the Pendolino on there. So you know, it's not too bad, but I don't know if we'll get another section of the West Coast Main Line where the Pendolino will naturally appear. That'd be nice. That would be nice. But I also want to see these trains as AI as well, and I don't have any details on that, but we were discussing that last night as well. You know, will the Pendolino layer in Glasgow, in Edinburgh, perhaps on the Glossop line at Manchester Piccadilly? We don't know at this stage, but it would be nice. We've got the Azuma, haven't we, up in Scotland as AI, coming in and out of Glasgow. So and in Edinburgh. I think, did we see it in Edinburgh? I saw the HST from Great Western Express. I saw that in Edinburgh. So I'm hoping, I'm going to try and find out some details on that, but I know that over the coming weeks, now that the streams are going to be coming out from DTG on all the new content that we're getting as part of TSW5, I know they're going to be covering things like that in a little bit more detail, because I know you guys haven't seen, for example, the new updated TSW5 user interface as well. So there was nothing that I saw yesterday in the Dovetail Direct about that. So they're going to be showing all that stuff, which is quite nice. We got 115 coming up, so I'm going to reduce the throttle, put the brake on slightly, take off the speed set, and we'll get down to 115 for this as we approach Berkhamsted. release the brake for now because we're soon back up to 125 again. Could be that this is a good section of the route for you to learn the speeds and go hoodless. I'm a fine one to say that because I don't go hoodless very often. I was discussing this with some of the other DTG ambassadors at the event that we had last week. Some do it all the time. I tend to hop around routes so much that I don't spend enough time in one route to properly learn it hoodless. Maybe Blackpool branches, I could do that, if I'm honest. There's not too many speed changes there. I could probably do that, but some of the routes, I think you have to really study those to get some route learning in. But I mean, it's good fun. If you want to take it to another level, that's really good fun. So I would encourage you to do that. We get back to 125, so we will. We've still got 35 miles into London Euston. So I wanted to do this today because a lot of players' reactions were, well, between London and Milton Keynes, it's a very short run. There's a lot of detail around London in TSW5, I will say that. So the London area, the approach to Euston, probably took the bulk of the time, I would expect. See, right now, out here, as we approach Hemel Hempstead, there's a lot of countryside, we're still out of the city, but just keep your eye on how it builds up as we get nearer. As once we get to Watford, you'll see it start to build up. So I imagine it took up a lot of time, a lot of resources to build up that section. So I hope though, with route hopping, which is another feature of TSW5, that just put the speed set on. Hopefully I've done that correctly. Which is another feature of TSW5. If we do get another section of the West Coast Main Line, then I'm hoping that, you know, with route hopping, we can go maybe on this first section, and if we get, you know, I don't know if we ever get Milton Keynes to Birmingham or beyond, it'd probably be beyond Birmingham, or else it wouldn't be worth doing, but maybe we can route hop, as we're going to be able to do with some of the other routes. I hope so. But, you know, now that we've got the West Coast Main Line, and, you know, my wish list is going to change slightly. But I want more Pendolino. Definitely want more Pendolino. Right, how are we doing? 22 miles to go. But yeah, that's why I'm showing you this route, because some of you won't have an idea of just how far the route actually is. And so I wanted to just show you that. Then you knew what you could expect. But we're making good time. It's a fast run. You can see we were originally due in at, I think it said 12:50. And already we're due in at 12:36. I think it takes around 40 minutes, I'm gonna say, to do this run. If you're running with no adverse signals. So it's good for a short hop. Now, if you run the Class 350, obviously, which is a very nice unit, by the way, and you can also, I've got the AP version of that in Train Sim Classic, and that's a really nice drive. Now, if you do run that on this section in TSW, then obviously that service will take you a lot longer because you're stopping, but it's just as enjoyable. Until you get your hands on it, it's difficult for me to tell you exactly how good it was. I really enjoyed it. I must have spent, out of the whole playtime that I was on the you know, last couple of days of last week down at Dovetail, I'd say I spent 60% of my time on this West Coast Main Line route, because I knew the route and because I travel on it quite a bit. I was eager to see what it actually looked like in game and experience this Pendolino. It's great, really enjoyed it. So I'd like to thank Dovetail for inviting me down along with the other ambassadors to take a look at it. It is easier to answer some of your questions having had hands-on and actually seen TSW5. It's definitely easier. So we got Watford Junction coming up, which is where we will see in TSW5, we'll see the Lioness line with the Class 710 from the Suffragette line. Suffragette line being a very nice route in its own right, by the way. I think a lot of us agree on that. We'll take a look at Watford as we fly through. Step back from the platform edge, everybody. We're coming through. That's Watford Junction. I think this is the Lioness line over on this side, if I recall. This side. You can see some... that was the 710 parked over there. I don't know if you just caught that. So a Bushy is next. We'll be passing a Bushy, platform 4. I think it's a great name for a station, that, Bushy. It's always impressed me, that. I don't know why. Get up to 125. There's another 350 on the other side. So this time I'll show you with the speed set button. So as the speed increases, we'll flip the button on. Now I don't know if you're going to be playing on console. And you don't have a keyboard. I don't know if there's going to be a shortcut to put the speed set on. That's something I don't know yet. Whilst I was at Dovetail, that's a Voyager going past. I was using the button actually on the desk to do it, rather than doing it with the controller. But it can be a little bit tricky, as you'll see in a second. So you see the speed is climbing, and you've kind of got to be ready. And as soon as you hit the 125, there you go. Did that do it? I don't even think that did it. You know, I wasn't accurate enough. So let's bring the speed down. First of all, put some throttle in because we need throttle. I heard it click, so I'm hoping that's done it. There is a definite click that you can hear once it's on. So we got Harrow and Wealdstone coming up. This is where you'll first see the Bakerloo line. So if any of you have been playing the Bakerloo line in previous TSWs, you'll be familiar with Harrow and Wealdstone. Stone or Stone? Is it Harrow and Wealdstone? I guess it is. Up north, sometimes we'll pronounce something with a stone on the end as stun. So it could be Wealdstone, but yeah. This is. We'll take a look. You'll be familiar with these buffers, which is where you bring in the underground train and you will swap ends and go back into the station. This in front of us going the same way. It's going the same way. It looks like a 7. Is that 710? Shall we look? It's going the same way, isn't it? Right, so I didn't catch what that was. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is a 710 in TS Classic. I can't remember. Bit of traffic on this route, which is quite nice to see. Sometimes in quick drive, there's just you on the track, but I think this this route in particular has a little bit going on, which is good. There's a 350. And you'll be very familiar with that within a few weeks, if you're not already. So I hope you're enjoying this little look. I just thought about doing it for all you that have never been on this section of route before, or were worried about the length of the route. You can see it's a decent run. It's a very decent run. Very high speed. As we go through Wembley Central. Now, we should be able to see Wembley Stadium over to the left. Probably about now. And you can see it very, very well in TSW5. Let's just take a look. Yeah, there it is. There's Wembley. So all you football fans can spot Wembley there. We should bring down the speed because we've got 110 coming up as we approach Euston. So we're just under 7 miles out of Euston right now. We'll just coast for a little while. Hey, you see what I mean? That the amount of stuff going on down this end already with this yard, etc. And you'll see just the other side of this bridge as well. There's a lot of detail gone into this, and I think you'll appreciate that once you get your hands on the TSW5 version. Let's just have a quick look outside. There's a lot of track. A lot of overhead catenary, etc. And I know from playing the TSW5 version, you'll see 66s, the DB Cargo 66, which comes with this DLC in TSW5. You'll see that dotted around. It's all nicely built up. So yeah. It's great. I can't wait. And I've already played it and I can't wait. You know, for some of you that have not played it yet, you know, I imagine some of you are desperate to get on it. Something new, isn't it? Something different. There's another overground train on the left. So we've got an 85 and an 80 coming up. Quite close now to Euston. Again, the Bakerloo line is over here on the left. You'll be familiar with that. Is that Elephant and Castle? I can't remember. Let's have a quick look, shall we? Queen's Park. Queen's Park, yeah. So you'll be familiar with Queen's Park. Now, I might have got an emergency brake there because I was outside the cab. Never fails, does it? Never fails. So let's put it into neutral. Let's see if we go into forwards. Does it let us continue? Maybe we have to come to a stop. So let's do the emergency stop, shall we? So if we put it down into take the throttle off. Let's just put it in neutral, shall we? We'll put it back in forwards. I think we just need to wait a period before it lets us recover. Let's just try. Right, nothing yet. Do we have to put it in emergency? Just trying to remember. Let's put it in emergency and let's take it back out again. There's another Voyager going the other way. There we go. I probably didn't wait long enough. It was probably already recovered and I didn't wait long enough to see if we would pick up speed. So there we go. We're underway again. So it's quite easy to recover from an emergency stop, as you saw. And it'll be exactly the same in TSW. as it is in this TS Classic. So there's nothing particularly to be worried about. Especially, you know, don't forget the other thing is that there's gonna be tutorials in game as usual, and as was shown in Dovetail Direct yesterday, there's gonna be text-based hints and tips as well that are a bit more detailed. If you get yourself in a certain situation and you don't know how to get out of it, there'll be a lot of help. As well as that, obviously, I will be extensively covering all the new stuff. So if we get an emergency brake, we'll get the emergency brake together. We'll get out of it. We'll get back underway, and we'll do it that way. So you can pick up details from various places. You know me. If I can help you, I will usually try and help you. If you get stuck on something, that's what it's all about. So, Bakerloo line on our left hand side, and as I said, you will see the 1972 stock going up and down there. And if you don't own the Bakerloo line, the 1972 stock is actually coming with the West Coast Main Line, so you don't need to own Bakerloo. I don't know if the Bakerloo is drivable. I can't remember if it's drivable. But you will be able to, if you own Bakerloo, you will obviously be able to route hop between the Bakerloo and the West Coast Main Line South. I'm calling it the West Coast Main Line South. What is it actually called? It's actually called West Coast Main Line, London Euston to Milton Keynes. It's called West Coast Main Line South in this game, but I think everybody knows it as South, pretty much. Right, we're coming into Euston. You can see all the detail. It's mad. And this is in TS Classic. Wait till you see the TSW version. We'll get some brake on. We're about to go downhill to the 40. Thanks everybody for watching and also for the support. Welcome to all the new subscribers that jumped on board yesterday after Dovetail Direct. I hope you enjoy the channel. There's lots of train content, both Train Sim World and TS Classic, if trains are your thing. We've also got buses, trucks, you name it, there's something on there. So yeah, enjoy your stay. Thank you for subscribing. And I hope everybody's looking forward to TSW5. This isn't going to be the last time that I talk about it, by the way. You won't be surprised to know. I'm pretty hyped, you know. I'm pretty hyped about TSW5. I'm pretty hyped about the roadmap. Let's not forget, we've got the Cardiff lines that were mentioned. And we've got a red light coming up. We do indeed. We got Cardiff. Now it's yellow. We got Cardiff. We've got Alan Thompson Sim. We've got, that's not been announced yet. We've got Dutch routes coming up, and I've got an emergency brake because I didn't press the alarm quick enough. This is typical, isn't it? Right, shall we try it better this time? And I'll talk about the roadmap again in a minute. Let's just take that off. Now, without putting it into neutral, let's see if it lets me recover. I think when the sander button goes off, there, it will let us move. Let's just see. Don't know if there's a period where it stays on. Let's try it with the sander button on. See if it lets us move. It doesn't. So let's take that off. Let's take it out of forwards. We'll put it in neutral. There you go. Put it in neutral. The sander button goes off. Now if I put it back in forward, and then we start to move off, we're good. So there's a tip. Yes, the road maps. Alan Thompson Sim has got a UK route we don't know about. We've got Dutch Railways. We've got what is going to be magnificent after Blackpool branches West Coast Main Line over Shap by Just Trains. The quality there, I'm sure, is going to be awesome. And there's lots of stuff. We've got gameplay packs. We've got loco packs. We've got all sorts coming up. I think the future's quite bright for TSW, and I hope you guys at least take advantage of the free core updates. If you're playing TSW4, I hope you take advantage of the free update to TSW5, certainly, at the very minimum. I think from the chat yesterday, most of you who want some new content are going to go for the Deluxe edition, it sounds like. And I'm coming in too fast now, so that's the TASS warning, which is telling me that it's too fast over the grid approaching the station, which is very important because there isn't much track once you get to the end of this platform, as you'll see. In fact, there's no track, so you want to be slowed down in time. But yeah, take advantage of the free upgrade to TSW5. Make sure you do. And there's some exciting stuff to come. TSW5, is going to go on and on, I think. And I'm going to say it right now for anybody that doesn't like these iterations of TSW. I don't know anything, but get yourself ready for TSW6 perhaps next year. But at least you know now that Dovetail haven't charged for the upgrade of the core to TSW5. It's likely that next year, if there is going to be a TSW6, it's probably going to be the same arrangement, isn't it? You know? You're not going to need to pay, which is great. But welcome to London Euston. And all this stuff is modelled. You can go onto the concourse in TSW5. I think you can here, but it doesn't look like this. This is very 2D. You can actually go onto the concourse in TSW5. You can walk up there, and well, you've listened to me harp on about it now for the last 40 minutes. You just need to get your hands on it. But trust me, it's pretty good. You might say I'm biased, but honestly, as a fan of this route, and as a fan of this train in real life, I think it's great. So, thank you very much once again for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this little look. Give me some feedback. Let me know. Have you seen this route before? Have you travelled on it? Is it something that you're looking forward to playing in TSW5? And let me know again, if you haven't commented already, let me know what edition of TSW5 you're going to end up picking up. I think you're going to mainly go for the Deluxe edition. I just have a feeling. Unless you're brand new to TSW, you might go for the special edition, which is the expensive one, but gives you lots and lots of stuff, lots of content for a much cheaper price than you would buy it individually. So it's a good deal, even though it's still expensive. It's over 100 quid, but it's still expensive. But you've probably got 300 quid's worth of stuff there, to be honest. So until next time, take care, everybody. Thank you very much. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.